watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo!
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So I know it's a long time from now, but this year is going to end with a bang, y'all. And no matter what we say about Turki Al-Sheikh, there is nobody in the game that's putting on the type of fight cards that he's putting together. Turki, he already gave us Super February with the Better Biev versus Bivol 2 card. He's given us a Super September when it comes to Canelo versus Crawford. And then we have a Super November, which is the Brian Norman versus Devin Haney card. Well, on that undercard so far, we have David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde, Abdullah Mason fighting for a world title, fighting against the Wrecking Ball. That's the nickname I gave him, Sam Noakes. And now, according to sources, Raymond Muratalla versus Andy Cruz is close to being finalized. Now, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, if Raymond Muratalla takes this fight, I would give him a lot of credit because he would be the first Mexican fighter, at least first all-Mexican fighter in a very long time that's willing to take a very dangerous fight against a black fighter without avoiding that fighter for years, like Oscar Valdez did Shakur Stevenson or like William Zepeda did Shakur Stevenson. And notice I said the first all-Mexican because I always give David Benavidez credit for being the only Mexican that wants all the smoke, but he's half Mexican. So don't be surprised if Raymond turns this fight down. Now, Jose Benavidez Sr., he just did an interview in Spanish, and he said that he heard that Andy Cruz is going to fight against William Zepeda on this November card. Now, the only way that would be true is if Raymond Muratalla turns down the Andy Cruz fight. And we already know that William Zepeda, he's fighting against Shakur Stevenson this weekend, which he's most likely going to lose. So that means that Turki, he already has another fight lined up for him if this news is true, regardless if it's against Andy Cruz or against someone else. And by the way, I meant to say next weekend. I didn't even realize today is Saturday. So for those of you guys who don't know, Andy Cruz is Raymond Muratalla's #1 contender. And that kind of sucks for Muratalla because he just won the belt. He just won the IBF title. Now, even though Raymond, he would be the underdog in this fight, he definitely has a chance because Andy Cruz, he does get hit and he has been wobbled a couple of times. Andy is not the same fighter that he was in the amateurs, not even close. He was like the Michael Jordan of the amateurs. He's a lot more human as a pro, which is why I would advise him to stay as far away as possible from Gervonta Tank Davis, because Tank would knock out Cruz. I'm telling you guys right now. And as good as I believe Cruz is, I think that Keyshawn would have stopped him as well. But outside of Keyshawn and Gervonta, it could be smooth selling for Andy Cruz. Now, the Shakur fight would be a 50-50 fight, but I don't see that fight happening for quite some time. It seems like Turki has different plans for Shakur and Andy Cruz right now. But the Raymond Muratalla versus Andy Cruz fight, it makes the most sense if you're putting that fight on that November undercard. And I'll say this as well. If Raymond Muratalla does fight against Cruz and he tries to box like he does the majority of times, he has almost no chance against Cruz. He would have to make it an aggressive fight, but making it an aggressive fight is a double-edged sword because then he's kind of putting his head in the meat grinder. Because Andy Cruz is actually at his best when he allows his opponent to lead. That's when he's comfortable, at least more comfortable. He doesn't seem as comfortable to lead. I noticed that as a pro. Trainer Bozy Ennis, he's doing a really good job of transforming Andy Cruz into more of a versatile fighter as a pro, being able to fight on his front foot just as good as he fights on his back foot, and also he's teaching him how to walk his opponents down, because these are all things that Bozy has instilled in his own son, Jaron, in his boots. Now, Andy Cruz, he laid out a plan. He did an interview in Spanish about a month ago, and he said he wants to fight against Raymond Muratalla next. He says something like it's kind of already in the works, like they're kind of already talking about it. And he said after that fight, he wants to fight the winner of Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda. Now, I'm going to play the clip of exactly what he said. Now, my friend, he translated the interview for me and he sent me the translation. But I tried to use this translation app just to see how accurate it would be. So you'll see subtitles at the bottom, but it's not accurate. So anyway, let me go ahead and play this clip.
No, creo que si me dieran a escoger a mí, ¿no? Iría ya por un título mundial con Muratalla, ya que estoy ahí a las puertas, ¿no? De conseguirlo, es lo más cerca que tengo. y ya después unificaría con el que gane entre Shakur y Cepeda. Con Hitching o con mi hijo, es cuestión de tiempo. De momento, lo que tengo, el enfoque ahora es en lo que puedo hacer yo y es que disputar ese título por la IBF y mantenerlo y ya después será cuestión de tiempo para un reencuentro con mi muchacho. Realmente creo que puedo terminar el 2025 siendo campeón del mundo, si todo me lo permite, ¿no? Si Dios sobre todo me lo permite, pero tengo que esperar, no depende de mí, pero si dependiera de mí.
So from what Andy is saying, it sounds like he's planning on not only trying to unify at 135, but then he wants to move up to 140. And I already feel like Andy, he's already a small guy at 135. So I don't think it would be a good idea for him to move up to 140. But we're kind of jumping the gun because there's still a lot of fights for him to make at 135 before he even makes that jump. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
I think Muratalla is a great fighter. You know, he's trained by Robert Garcia, who's for me one of the best trainers in the world. But I think Andy's very special, and I think you'll see him keep on improving against the levels of opposition. And you know, sometimes he's fighting not necessarily within his style, he's fighting to make it exciting. And when the better opposition arrives and someone that's more aggressive like Muratalla, I really feel like you're going to see the best of Andy Cruz. Don't forget, he's just had 6 fights in the professional code, so I see him as a heavy favourite to beat Muratalla, but I think he's a very good fighter.
Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to LODkey.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.